Welcome to the school system sucks. Other words, the school system. That's right. This is part two. If you haven't watched part one, this is this is still good enough if you're like gonna watch your first video. But I'm telling you, part one adds a little stuff that it's just gonna be like grandma's kiss. You know what I'm saying? Um. So alright, let's start with some facts that are absolutely gonna blowing your mind away. Have you ever heard that they call a kid out and this kid doesn't do any work, he's a super lazy kid, doesn't do anything with his life, and they said, well, we gotta blame it on the parents, that was bad parenthood. I'm gonna change your whole perspective after I give you the statistics. It says here, it depends on the parent how the kid behaves. Okay, watch this. According to research, mothers spend 3.5 hours of quality time with their kid. Fathers spend 2.7 hours of quality time with their kid, and in average they spend it together. It is like a normal marriage, like they have no problems, they're usually going to spend this time together. So listen, this is a daily time: 3.5 for the mother, 2.7 for the father. The average person goes to school roughly 36 weeks per year. Okay, the average day in a K through 12 is 6.9 hours. I'm gonna round it up to 7 hours on school. This is on public schools average. Let's do the math. 36 weeks times 5 times 7 equals 1,260 hours the kid is at school during a normal school year for 36 weeks. Now, guessing that the parents are together, and like what I said before, they spend time with their child together. If we average 2.7 plus 3.5, it gives us 3.1. That's about 52 weeks because this is a daily average, times 7 because it's 7 days per week, times 3.1 hours of the daily. That gives us 1,128.4. So look at the school. Look at what the school did in 36 weeks. 1,260, while the parents only did 1,128. And I put right here in my notes, thank goodness that we didn't add extracurricular activities that happen in school. Because there's some kids that stay after school for practice 2 hours, for clubs 2 hours. Imagine how much it gets reduced until then. Imagine how much time. So already in 36 weeks, your child is spending 32 more hours with the school than with you. So when we say, hey, let's blame it on the parents for how the kid is, hey, give half the credit to the school. So when we see prostitutes, when we see school shooters, when we see drug addicts in the streets, when we see people that are self-harming with depressed thoughts, with people that want to themselves, give half credit to the school. Half credit goes to the school. All right, that's whose half credit is going to. Because yes, we can blame it all on the parent, and yes, they play a big important role, but they're spending more time on the average year in 36 weeks compared to a parent that's spending 52 weeks with their child. They're spending more time with your child than you are in a year. Even without the other 14 weeks, I think, or that's 16 weeks. I'm not sure what the math is exactly. But even with the 14 weeks, you can't still spend enough time with your child. So whenever we say, hey, look at that person, I wonder how their parents were, I wonder how the school system was. And I thought you said you wanted to raise your child to be different, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't want your child to make the same mistakes as you. I thought you said you wanted your child to have a better future. Yet you're taking them through the same thing that you went through the same school system, through the same teachers. Let me give you an analogy, okay? Have you ever played with a teammate, or have you ever had a coworker that they don't want to be there? They hate being there. And you know how it brings the team mood down? It gets you mad, it gets you pissed. It's like, oh, I hate this person. It doesn't do anything good. Their negative is all around, and it impacts the game, it impacts the team. Do you know what I'm saying? Imagine your kids spending more time in school. 40 to 50% of teachers will not choose to become a career, will not choose to become a teacher as a career if they were given the choice. Half of the teachers, one in every two teachers, will not choose to teach your child. And later on, we're going to get to some statistics of how unfulfilled people are. This goes on general, which is 90% of the population. Almost every teacher your child encounters, and almost every other teacher your child encounters, absolutely hates their life. As a teacher. As a teacher. Okay, I don't know if they hate their life really, but as a teacher. Every time your child goes in there and they see the negativity, and it doesn't have to be something you can see on a teacher. Oh, that teacher might look nice, but we don't know the heart. You can see faces, you don't know the heart. And whatever they project daily, because remember, they're still spending more time with your child, whatever they're projecting daily onto your son, that's what your son is going to become. Imagine all the regrets in their life, all the unfulfillment they have in their life, and they're putting it back on your child. And they're taking care of your kid more than you. And yet, you're gonna let them go over there with the unfulfillment, with all the negativity that the teachers are bringing onto your child. And don't come up to not come up. Anybody in the comments that are typing right now, well, teachers don't get paid enough. Teachers are working too hard. But people are obviously stressed. No wonder why no one wants to be teachers. Shut your ass up. Because it's the same school system that effed everybody up in the United States. And it's doing it around the world. It's like a virus. Most people saw COVID as something that went around and people were so scared for a moment and people thought that we're gonna die. Well, this is killing your fulfillment, your dreams. Doesn't matter if you live, if all your life you're gonna be abused. Well, here's what's going on, okay? When you say that teachers are not getting paid enough or that they work too much for the little pay they have, you are creating the school system has created their own division. How is that? How can you say that? And that's what I talked in my last video. Because no wonder why people are so greedy nowadays. No wonder why people don't think about other people. No wonder why people are so selfish with their needs. And they don't understand how to see other perspective views. They don't understand. Whenever they see a comment they don't like or they see something they don't like, and they start typing and they start getting all weird and they start getting all messed up and they start getting all mad and crazy and start calling you names online. People you don't even know are like literally hating on you online. Look at my YouTube comments in my shorts. Dude, people just hate me for no reason. Like, bro, they'll be like, bro, if you don't got muscles, don't be posting videos like that. And I'm like, what? Like, what does that has to do with anything you said? You're just hating to hate. People can't see other perspective. People don't even have the understanding of, like, oh, this person's doing their life, whatever. They don't have that. It's all about them nowadays. You know why? Because the school system has set it up in this way. Your notes, your grades, your graduation, your score, your test, your homework, your future, your salary, your income, your wealth, your failure, your success. You. When did our graduation, our class, our grades, when that all went away? And that's what we're gonna get into. And it's going to go really in depth. Do not forget about what you said, because it's gonna get really into depth. Okay? So, listen. Everybody knows this about America. By the people, for the people. Yet, most of the politicians are having control of you because they're greedy. No wonder where they started from. Maybe a school system that made them greedy, which I'm talking about you. You're not, you love you. No wonder they want it all for them. No wonder they don't put anyone behind. But yet, teachers, listen to all the teachers, because if all the teachers get convinced on that, and the United States probably, whoever controls the elite and the politicians, whatever it is, they're probably gonna kill me for this. But listen, if all the teachers, even if just half the teachers of the United States quitted tomorrow, even if just half the teachers of the United States quitted tomorrow, and they all went to protest against the government, and no one was willing to fit those spots because now people will do anything for money. So that if no one was going to fill the spots that the teachers are leaving, and 50% of the teachers go on to protest to the government, the U.S. government will have no chance but to give you the money that you're asking for. Even if half the United States did that. But no, what happens now? People are barely living paycheck to paycheck, because you might be like, well, that's a really good excuse, because people Teachers can't quit like that because they have family to take care of. Okay, but there's another teacher who has enough money who can help them out just for the better of them having a better salary later on. But because we're so selfish, we're not doing that. Um, Second of all, people are so divided in the United States, they can't even agree on one thing. If you're a Democrat, I don't want to agree with anything you say. If you're a Republican, I don't want to agree with anything you say. Did you forget Republican and Democrat are the same bird? Are two wings of the same bird. Do you understand that, right? You understand that the two sides are connected. You understand that if one is leaning against the other, it's going to collapse either way. If you think I'm putting two walls like this and you think you're gonna be winning by this, by the way, once you collapse one, you're going to collapse as yourself. And that's exactly what America's going. You are going to collapse, America. You're going to collapse one way or the other. If you keep going on the rhythm you're going and the separation you're having and the division you're having between your people, you're going to fall. And the destroyment that's gonna come, it's gonna be awesome, honestly. Because how far the United States have gotten to a point like it's not even the free country we always thought or the American dream. Those things are not even achievable anymore because of the division, the greediness, and how hard people made it and the monopolies that are running. And I'm going to get you how the school system is running a whole monopoly. It's awesome. It's pretty awesome. Okay, it's pretty cool. Um, because it ends up as us being, the victims, and that makes it better for us. But honestly, you aren't the United States of America. You are the separated individuals of America. Everything is about you, 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 you. How people view you. How people think about you. What your income says about you. What your work says about you. What your status says about you. It's all about you. No wonder why it's so divided. My goodness gracious. You want to get into some real stuff? We'll get to some depth stuff. Deep stuff. It all comes down to the SAT and the ACT and the SAT, because the scores dictate most of the scores dictate if you get a scholarship, meaning they dictate if you have a good future, if you get a good job, and how good a job of a teacher how good a job a teacher did. It's more profitable for College Board to block phones, block AI, and not renovating to that. And by the way, if you're wondering like why should we use AI or phones, go watch my other video. All right, and don't come with those stupid questions over here, because that's actually like a really dumb question. Like actually really dumb. Let me just give you a quick recap. AI is not slowing down. Google hasn't slowed down. But they're trying to stop our future. They're trying to stop opportunities. No wonder why people feel so unfulfilled. No wonder why people feel like they can't do anything with their life. No wonder why people feel so stuck. No wonder why rates the rates are going up. No wonder why the depressed rates are going up, because people don't know how to take opportunities in their life because the school hasn't taught them how to take opportunities in their life. And now AI is going to replace us in the next 10 years. So you better figure out either how to use AI or how to be in the industry that is far from AI that won't be replaced. Okay? I mean, in 10 years, probably psychiatrists could be an AI. They probably will do a better, more unbiased job than we do as humans. So why wouldn't they do it? And it'd be so much cheaper too. You can just buy a subscription from AI for like $50 instead of paying a psychiatrist like hundreds of dollars. Or a psychologist. Imagine what they can do with you. Imagine instead of having a server, they can just pay a monthly subscription of $15 an hour instead of paying $15 a month instead of paying $15 an hour for a cashier that's literally right there on your table. You know, like how Chili's has the game. Imagine if there's your cashiers. They can do everything that the server can do. It's going to be replaced really easily, and there's robots already serving. There's already self-checkout, which is replacing a lot of jobs. So, it's more profitable for College Board to say you can't use phones, to say you can't use AI, than for them to pay people to change those tests, to make them AI friendly, to make them phones friendly, but they make the test about using our skills on the phone and using our skills on the AI. But no, they want to do it the old-fashioned way. which leads you nowhere to life, which makes no difference. Because Google can do it in 5 seconds, yet we can do it after we learn it through like a whole year of studying curriculums and stuff like that, and then we can do the test. Does that make any sense? We have the technology to do it in 5 seconds, and you want us to study 2 years to get the same answer the technology did in 5 seconds? Yeah, you're dumb. But they want to do it because it's cheaper for them to, because it's cheaper for them. The most of the colleges in all of the colleges in the United States have to have some SAT requirement or ACT requirement. And if you don't, they probably have to pay a lot for the college. Like I know some colleges that offer me like, no, don't take an SAT, and you, like that was a lot of money to pay. You know, it was really expensive to pay. So, you know, if you don't want to take those, or you want to have a scholarship, or you want to go to a college that requires that, you have to have it. So it's better for them to make profit out of you failing and failing and failing than you having AI or having a phone and pass it on the first time. It's more profitable for them to sell you books and sell the school books about how to pass the SAT and how to have practice tests that they sell online. It's more profitable for them, all of that, than giving it to you the first time to pass it. Obviously, they don't want that. Obviously, they want to make the most money out of it. And they got thousands of kids to use it off. They got thousands of kids to abuse it from. Literally, I mean, they set up an 80,000 million question thing, and they're done. It's time to collect the money. That's all they did. That's literally all they did. It's literally, it's not child abuse because it's not child abuse, but you're using children to get profitable. Man, did the Jeffrey guy will love you, bro. But anyway, I love how teachers say to us, "You're the nation's leader. You're the innovators, the renovators, the inventors. You're the future of this nation." Yet they don't do anything to make the school system better. Absolute hypocrisy. If you wanted to make the school better, you will stop following their bullcrap. You will start thinking ahead of them because you know AI is going to replace us. Because you know technology is going to replace most of us. You know that most of the students in my school, they don't even know how to type, bro. They don't even know how to type without looking at the keyboard. Can you believe that? It's been like 30 years that the school's being here. That the computer's being here. And they don't know how to type yet. And you know how important that is? We're doing Word documents when we're graduating. No one's gonna be taking freaking paper handwritten notes. You need to have the Word documents, and yet people don't know how to do that. You say that we're the innovators of the future. You say that we are the inventors of what's going to come next. But yet you fail so badly at integrating technology into the work school flow. You suck at it. You absolutely do. You might be like, oh, the schools got computers now. And yet, what do? They only put PDFs there. They block AIs. They block Google. And they leave you with Edge. And then they put some settings on Edge that doesn't show you no AI. And it shows you only shows you the resources the school wants. Yeah, bro. Don't you understand that when I go out to the real world, there's no blocking on my phones? I don't know if do they know that? Do they know once I go into somewhere else where the school internet's not there, they know I can just search up Google and search up AIs and stuff like that and search up all the articles that the school blocked? They say they want us to prepare us for the next step of life and for the next step of our future, but you're actually taking us into a little box. I didn't thought about that before, but now that I'm bringing it up, that's so stupid. How can you say that you want us to teach us better and you're blocking all these things that there in real life are not blocked? You're teaching us how to handle real life and blocking the things that are found in real life? I love how we are all different. We have all different perspectives, cultures, hobbies, knowledge, all different ways of life. Yet, we all have to take these same classes We all have to take the same credits. We all have to take the same curriculum before we graduate. And to me, it makes sense because they want to kill your creativity. They want their monopolies to stay on top. Their monopolies have control over you. If they're not gonna do it by killing your creativity, they're gonna do it by giving you everything you want. Shorts, YouTube shorts, reels, TikToks. They're going to give you all that crap, junk food. They're going to give you pornography, all to fill your mind so you don't think about creativity. You don't think about the things I'm saying to you right now. You don't think outside the box. They don't want people like me to think about outside the box. I'll probably end up killed. I can't wait. People are probably gonna see like two views in this video, and I'm gonna get killed. But people don't want you to think outside the box. They don't want you to think about outside the box. So that's why they kill your creativity. That's why it don't matter if you have a different knowledge, a different perspective, a different culture, a different hobby than other people. They're going to put you through the same classes as everybody. And if you don't do that, you can't graduate. And if you can't graduate, you can't go to college. And if you can't go to college, you can't get a good earning job. Right? But why does it matter if you graduate high school? What does it matter if you um what does it matter if you graduate high school? What does it matter if you graduate college? What does it matter if you get a job that's paying $40, $100 an hour? You know, at the end of the day, 80 to 90% of people are unfulfilled with their lives. And half the credit goes to the school, by the way. Don't forget that. 80 to 90% of people are unfulfilled with their lives. You heard what I just said. That's a statistic you can look up. 1 in 8 people, when I walk around through Disney Springs, I walk around with LA, with New York, 1 in 8 people, 1 in 9 people are unfulfilled with their lives. And you know what's funny? That 10% that's left, guess who they are? Guess who they are? The richest in the country. The people who own or have achieved their dreams, which make up 10%. Anything that went above 10 million, those are the top 10% earners in the United States. It's dumb. Yes, money doesn't buy happiness, but it definitely delivers you from a lot of stress. A lot of stress that you can enjoy then with your family, with doing the hobbies that you like, with having that life that you like, with never worrying about if you can eat the next day or you can pay the water bill or you can pay the electricity bill. Yet school only gives you enough to fulfill your thirst, but it won't cure your thirst. Let me say that again. School will give you enough. The opportunities school will give you is enough to quench your thirst, but not cure your thirst. You're going to keep being thirsty, and you're going to take those little drops of water every time. And they're just gonna tell you, hey, if you don't do this, I'm not gonna give you your little drop. And there's people drinking. Like they're drinking a glass of water and they're taking a little tea, pressing it on you. And you gotta do other work for their monopolies to run. So it's either you join them. If you can't beat them, you join them, or you just stay exactly where you're at. And that's your choice. That's on you to do it. But anyway, guys, that's all I really have. Just think about that. The school spends more time with your child than you spend with your child as an average parent. And 80 to 90% of people are unfulfilled with their lives. Half the credit goes to the school. I don't care what you say about it. The statistics are there. Half the credit goes to the school. And 80 to 90% of people are unfulfilled. If you want to be one of them, join them. If you don't want to be one of them, if you can't beat them, you gotta join them. You gotta join one or the other. That's all those choices you got. Take care. See you later. And think outside the box. That's gonna be my catchphrase. And remember, think outside the box.